how would everyone just react to my legacy, what I've built, and who I've become? What would be everything that you can do? Can you go out and travel the world? Can you go out and drive the supercar that you want? Go out to eat after that and then completely forget about you, completely forget about your legacy, completely forget about anything that you did because you didn't build anything. If you died tomorrow, what would your legacy be? Because what's the point of going through this journey of life if you aren't documenting this? Oh, I am tired. I woke up a lot later than I wanted to, but still did my routine, still did my workout. I was gonna have some coffee, but I'm gonna actually do some cardio, record this YouTube video, and then come back here, get my breakfast, get my shower, then get some coffee, and then I'm gonna do 2 hours of work before this 4th of July event, because I'm recording this on 4th of July. I'm planning to look at some fireworks with some friends and with my significant other. But I thought I'd come on here, record this YouTube video for you guys, because an idea came to my head, which was, if you died tomorrow, what would your legacy be? Because I was thinking, what if I died right now? How would everyone just react to my legacy, what I've built, and who I've become? And it got me thinking of, imagine if a year ago I died. My legacy would be honestly not good, because I wasn't partaking in any businesses. I was going through my day-to-day smoking weed, partying. I was going through my day job like it was nothing. I remember going through college and I barely learned shit because I was just high all the time. Luckily, right after college, I started learning more than I ever did inside college, but it was a real life shift because I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't implementing into the things that I needed to do. So if I would have died during that time period in my life, I wouldn't have built anything achievable. But now, my legacy a year later, it's completely different. And I'll break that down. Once we kind of go outside, I'm gonna do 30 minutes of cardio, record this YouTube video, and I'll see you guys there. I've honestly just been debating on where I want to walk in the path, because when I look at this camera and just kind of go off, I'm gonna forget of everything that I'm doing, which is walking. And it kind of gets me in this flow state to where I'm not thinking of the cardio that I'm doing, but instead I'm just kind of working out, talking to you boys, kind of like I'm talking to my younger self, as if I was him and he needed this advice to 10x his life. And that's kind of the advice I'm trying to give to you guys today. So if you died tomorrow, what would your legacy be? So to my older self, imagine if you died in 24 hours. One, what would be everything that you can do? Can you go out and travel the world? Can you go out and drive the supercar that you want? Can you go out and hang out with your loved ones? Are you trapped in this environment where you don't want to be? You're trapped in this job that you hate. You're trapped in, this low-income society that you just don't enjoy. And, you could have got out of it if you would have put some hard work in a year ago, but you didn't. So these last 24 hours, you can't do anything. But if you were to die in the 24 hours, your legacy would be trash. Everyone would just be thinking that you're smoking weed all the time. Everyone would think that, you had a business going, but you really didn't. You felt like you did, but you really didn't have any business going. You told everyone that you were getting shit done, you were building your business, you were, breaking out of the 9-to-5 like everyone else, but instead you chose to party on the weekends. You chose to build this life that you didn't want. You chose to smoke. You chose to be with a girl that, was tearing you down. And that's what strayed you off your path. And now you don't have a legacy. If you die, everyone's going to go to your funeral. They're going to be sad for 30 minutes to an hour, go out to eat after that, and then completely forget about you, completely forget about your legacy, completely forget about anything that you did because you didn't build anything. Instead of trying to build a business, instead of trying to serve other people, you instead chose to hide from everyone. You instead chose to react to the environment instead of being the one that's proactive and building your own. You chose to, instead of being a leader that paves his own path, you chose to think like everyone else. You chose to scroll on Instagram, on TikTok, wasting 1 to 3 hours a day. You chose to break promises, and these promises broke relationships in your past. Do you not understand the effects that these things do to you and the legacy that you're not building? You have no faith currently, which means that you have no purpose, you have no judgment that you're going towards. You feel like you have no morale, or at least that's how I was feeling in that time period. And it just killed me, because if I were to die, then I wouldn't have any legacy. I wouldn't have any purpose. It would feel like I'm headed nowhere in life, and no one would remember me after a year. It felt like I wasn't living up to who I wanted to be, and the dreams that I set out for myself, they weren't achievable. But because of that mindset, it honestly, I'm thankful because it broke me out of that, and it was able to create this indestructible, unshakable focus of going on the path that I want. Setting 4 goals each day, putting a 4-step routine in the morning, and having 4 needle movers that I'm going for each day. So those are the foundations that I set for myself now that is going to help me build a legacy where I'm able to build a business where it is providing other people. You know, in the future, I'm gonna get out of this sun and walk backwards. That way you guys can see me. But that's probably been horrible for your guys' eyes. But I'm gonna build a business. I'm gonna build one that can serve other people. One that after I'm passed away, the people around me are taken care of. You know, I still have money coming in because of the processes that I set up. I still have, you know, houses for people. I still have cars for people that whenever I pass away, they are given away. But right now, if I were to die, I wouldn't have no legacy. I would just be forgotten. And that's a fucking scary thought. And I know a lot of you guys think like that. You have to start serving other people. You have to start building. You have to start mentoring other people. You have to get mentored to mentor other people, though. And that was the struggle for me. For 2 years, I told myself, I don't need a mentor. I know the path. I'm posting a video a day, and I'm learning off that. You know, why would I want to learn from someone and pay so much money when I work for this money? But it's because I didn't value time over money. Now that I value time over money, I spent the whatever it was, a couple thousands of dollars on a mentorship. That way I can beat whoever I was in the past and 10x his life. Because if I didn't have a mentor, I'd still be in the same little spot, maybe a couple steps forward, but still that same mindset, still that same mentality. I wouldn't have someone to bounce ideas off of. Like, it's just, you need a foundation. And it all starts with telling yourself, hey, how am I going to break out of this? How am I going to start building, start serving, start mentoring other people, and even following through on everything in life? Like, you set these goals of where you want to be, who you want to be around, how you set up your life, but yet it's not there. And yes, again, I'm speaking to my younger self because he had all these ideas. He had all these thoughts that he wanted to become this person, and he felt like he was, you know, that 1%, that person that's out of the ordinary, but his actions never aligned with it. What he was doing on a day-to-day wasn't what he wanted. It wasn't fulfilling his life and his purposes. That's when I started to document my journey. Document on Instagram, document my complete walkthrough of life. All right, I'm gonna get back inside and then I will see you boys to finish up this video. All right, just got home. I was honestly gonna come in here and just start rambling on about the topic, but I honestly feel like I hit that pretty hard. Exactly what I said was, if you died tomorrow, what would your legacy be? Do you really see everyone thanking you for what you did, or do you see them forgetting you after that dinner? Because 90% of people are gonna forget you after that dinner. They're gonna go about their lives normally, and they're gonna forget who you were. But I moved through life disciplined, building and serving other people, getting mentored by someone, but then also mentoring other people. That way they can follow through on what I'm doing, follow through on what my mentor is doing, follow through on what my mentees are doing, and then documenting the whole thing. Because what's the point of going through this journey of life if you aren't documenting this? Another reason why I'm building these videos is to give you guys confidence, a confidence of, hey, you guys can create these videos. I'm just an average person that is comfortable talking to the camera because I told myself that I'm just talking to the younger self of me. Me that was 2 years ago, wasn't striving towards any goals, wasn't going towards any purpose. That is how you guys should create your YouTube videos. My name is Jonathan. Stay tuned for the next videos because these are gonna get a lot better. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Click the first link in the description if you want to learn more about my mentorship.